There's only one explicit statement, really plainly explicit, that talks about Trinity. And it's in 1 John 5, verse 7, where it said, there are three that bear record in heaven, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. These three are one. And there are three that bear record on earth, the water, the blood, and the Spirit. And these three agree as one. This is the compendium for the understanding that everything that Jesus said was about this. Unfortunately, biblical scholars themselves have proved that this was never a part of the original writings of the Bible. This did not come into the existence until the Latin Vulgate. So biblical scholars in the 50s, when they made something called the NSRV, which is no longer in print, the New Standard Revised Version of the Bible, this is one of the verses that they tossed out. Along with the story of Jesus forgiving the adulteress and some other things, they tossed it out. And these are biblical scholars. A college of biblical scholars of repute said that 1 John 5 and 7 was never a part of the original documents. It only comes in the Latin Vulgate, so it is flicked out. But Jesus taught God was one. Thank you.
We have one more that is related to the one that I just asked. There's a sister asking for advice on how to give nasiha or da'wah to her mother who believes that God is three, and make her believe that God is one.
My answer will be the same to the other sister. Tell her to go read the red letter edition of the Bible. Read only the red, leave everything out. If you can find Trinity in that, then we have a serious problem, because Jesus only spoke implicitly in verses like I and the Father are one and things of this nature. But his explicit statements are clearly distinguish himself from the God that he worshipped. So the Trinity is not something that Jesus taught. It's something that came about later. Even if we look at early church history, the debate that raged on for the first 3 centuries of Christianity was about the nature of Jesus. There were churches, there were places of worship throughout Palestine, throughout Northern Africa, throughout East Africa, that believed in Jesus as a Messiah, as God as one, and him as a prophet and messenger and Messiah. These churches were eradicated after the councils of Nicaea. After the councils of Nicaea were concluded, and these bishops who were from Rome, who had the power and the prestige, just like politics today, when the politics were played and they decided that Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, the Acts of the Apostles, and the writings of Paul are what we're going to believe, and our creed is what we're going to believe, and anyone who disagrees with it, you will have your tongue cut out, you will have your books burned, you will be imprisoned, you will be killed. So this is what happened to the eradication of the early church who followed Jesus. We not only have witness from that from historical documents, but also in Islam, we have a witness from a man named Salman al-Farsi, a Persian man who said he used to worship Jesus as one, as a prophet, as a messenger, and that there were very few people left on earth. And his last teacher, who was a follower of Jesus, the Christ, the Messiah, told him, and we have this on very good account, told him, go to the city of Medina, which was known as Yathrib at the time, because the next messenger is going to come. This is what he's going to look like, and he's going to have a seal of prophethood on his shoulder between his on his back between his shoulders. And Salman al-Farsi said that is exactly what happened when he heard the prophet was there. He went and he saw him, and the prophet said, are you looking for this on my back? And he showed it to him, and Salman al-Farsi accepted Islam because this is what he was told to do by his followers or his teachers who followed Jesus Christ. So we have the historical reference.